Hey guys, alright, so to get these horns going, you are going to need some aluminum foil, some masking tape. I used wood glue because it's what I have, but you can also use just regular white glue, some tissue paper, and a headband to attach it to. Taking the aluminum foil, I just created a cone shape with that, and this will act as our base to build upon afterwards. It almost will look like a fang to start with, and then from there, you can just start adding thicker layers to the base of it and widening it out where you need it. Once you have the tip of the horn established, you kind of want to leave it alone. So when you're adding these layers, you want to always add them to the base and extend downwards and out that way so that you do not affect the pointiness of your horns. Because the aluminum foil will have some stray edges and pieces will want to come apart, you then just want to cover the entire horn with masking tape to seal everything in. It's a little bit easier to work with small pieces and then just kind of build from there. That way you don't have to worry about having kinks and crinkles as you move along. From here, you might find there's some pieces that look a little concave and need a little bit of extra padding. For this, I just went in with little rolled up sections of aluminum foil and taped those down as well. And you can do this all along the horn wherever it needs some extra attention. When you have a shape you're happy with, I moved on to placing some of the glue into a container and adding a little bit of water to it. From here, you're just going to kind of paper mache the horn with the glue going down and then applying layers of the tissue paper over top and sealing that in again with more of the glue. I probably ended up doing about 3 layers of this tissue. I had it down to 1 ply tissue paper, so I didn't have a lot of layers, but you of course can add more. You can let layers dry and add more on top afterwards. The more layers of glue and doing this process, you have a better chance of getting a fully smooth texture. I didn't mind having a bit of texture on mine, so I kept it with this kind of roughed look to it. If you have something you can kind of spike your horn onto while you paint, it definitely helps for getting the bottom area. And as I was happy with the tissue layers, I just kind of went over one last time with a thick layer of the glue to create a bit of a smoother surface and let that dry completely. Now that I have my completed horns dry, I moved on to attaching it to the headband. So for this, I cut out some little strips of black felt. You could pick whatever color felt maybe matches your wig or would be easiest to conceal. And then from here, I just took some hot glue and wrapped those bands around the areas I wanted to attach the horns. This is mainly because the hot glue would not attach well to the metal headband that I like to use. I do like using these ones because they're very thin and they're strong, so I just have to put a little bit of extra effort into making sure that the horns can then attach to them. So just wrap it around, use the hot glue to secure it, and cut off any excess you don't need. You could of course also carry the felt all the way around the entire headband to better conceal it. Whatever you want to do for your look, it would work. Now your headband is hot glue ready, so very simple, just applying it down and letting it dry to secure it in place. You might also want to try it on your head at this point just to make sure it's really in the right spot. And then taking little pieces of felt, I kind of attached them to the bottom to help secure it around the headband itself and just really seal the horns in place. I also added a little bit of extra hot glue just in general to make sure everything is really secure. Please ignore my blue hand. That is from a different DIY and I just was being lazy. After letting everything dry, you are good to paint. For mine, I just used basic orange and black since that worked for my character, but you can of course do whatever paint job you like. I went in first with the orange and then following with the black along the bottom. Both paints I used are acrylic, so they're really fast drying and very easy to work with. You could probably make these in a day for a costume. And I just kind of embraced the texture of these horns, so when I made the fade point, I also used a sponge and just dabbed on the colors back and forth to create even more texture and give a little bit more visual interest. Repeat the same paint job on both sides and you are done. These are very easy to make, can probably be made within a few hours. I hope they can help some of you for some last minute costumes or even some cosplays you are working on. These horns are incredibly lightweight and stay on very easily, so you can go out all night and they should not be a problem. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I will see you next video.